Hi, I'm Susan Tuttle, and I've been doing project management for over 20 years. And I was really hoping that my life's work would have resulted in a tremendous improvement in this area. But sadly, the statistics are pretty much the same as when I started. Projects are different than business as usual. BAU repeats year on year, and so therefore is repeatable, whereas projects are one-off, unique endeavors that at the end of which project teams disband, going back to where they came from or onto other projects. So repeatability can get lost. And this is especially true for small projects. The ones that are short, that aren't that risky, that don't have big teams, that are sometimes completely internal, as in not client-facing, and possibly not even money-making. According to the stats, these are the most common types of projects. And with small projects, process seems to go out the window. Because of the time and effort involved, it just doesn't seem worth it. So we end up with projects that have no accountability, tons of scope creep, no idea how they're doing against a plan because there never really was a plan. And all of this, it seems to be okay because all of the skilled resources are off on other projects. So small projects are often left with whoever's available versus who's right for the job. And any lessons that have been identified are quickly forgotten, only to be remembered later when they get repeated again and again. Now, there are some best practice methods out there that can help, such as PMI from the States and Prince2 and APM from the UK. And these have been designed to get projects up and running and performing well. Built into these methods are repeatable processes, which sounds really good until you start applying them to small projects. PMI lists 71 potential documents to help run a project, and Prince2 recommends 26. And they're not just talking 71 or 26 documents. There are versions of documentation that really do help manage large-scale projects. On the other hand, having no documentation is not a viable option either. It's the information that's important. So you can capture this in any usable format, such as emails, meeting minutes, scraps of paper, notes on your phone. You just need to make sure you're making a record of this somewhere. I was in a handover meeting with a project manager, and he was really doing his best to try and verbally describe his project to me. And he eventually gave up because he just couldn't do it. He then literally said to me, the guy before me said that the guy before him was really good at explaining this. From my experience as a trainer and consultant, this is the biggest pain point for project managers of small projects. They are desperate to find the right balance between doing too much and doing nothing at all. So the good news for them is that there are just 2 steps to help project managers find that right balance. Step 1 is to define for your organization, what is a small project? Is 50,000 pounds small? Is more than one supplier big? Having a standard definition will then help you use step number 2 consistently. Step number 2 is to follow the 5 tenets of managing small projects. Sponsor, scope, plan, do and report, and close. And by following these and doing just enough documentation to keep a record of them, it will make it a lot easier to manage and actually finish small projects. Sponsor. Our number 1 complaint as project managers is lack of senior management commitment. Sponsors are always around at the beginning during all the fun and exciting times, but when things get going, they disappear. When tough decisions need to be made or contracts negotiated, they just aren't around. And there are usually some legitimate reasons why they disappear. Their business as usual demands, such as running a directorate or making money, are taking up their time. So they lose sight of the small projects and their dedication to them. But if the senior manager involved or responsible for the project isn't making this a priority, then no one else will. It will eventually fall off everyone's list and be forgotten. So the choice is to truly sponsor a small project or to drop them. This is the linchpin tenet. Without this one, none of the rest can happen. Scope. This is the definition of what's in and what's out. Not writing this down is the biggest regret of project managers around the world. Final sign-off can become a massive struggle based on genuine misunderstandings, hidden agendas, or the real fear of signing something off. Plan. When planning your work around a deadline, make sure to look for outside dependencies. Other things will often take precedence over small projects. Things like clients going live or company-wide audits. So make sure you're planning around these. And once there is a plan, it needs to be followed. Compare what's actually happening against the plan to see if things are going according to plan or not, and then may need replanning. And then also share this information with everyone involved so they too know how it's going. And finally, close. When a project is done, deliverables need to be handed over. There should be no more project files on your C drive. Instead, everything should be live and available to whomever needs it. And if a team was involved, a thank you is always appreciated, especially if you CC the boss. I truly believe that by following these 5 tenets of sponsor, scope, plan, do and report, and close, which combine just enough process with just enough documentation, will help project managers successfully manage small projects in a repeatable manner. Thank you and good luck on your small projects.